In a stunning display of authority and legacy, Rikishi has wasted no time stepping into his new role as the Wiseman of the Bloodline. Just days after his shocking return on SmackDown, the Hall of Famer performed his first official task, executing a calculated move to solidify Roman Reigns' grip on power. This wasn't just a symbolic gesture, it was a declaration of war. Rikishi's first act wasn't about pageantry, it was about strategy, control, and legacy. The message is clear. The era of outside advisors is over. Blood now calls the shots, and the Bloodline is more dangerous than ever. The fallout from Heyman's betrayal. The Bloodline on the brink. Ever since Paul Heyman's shocking betrayal of Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, the moment when the man once hailed as the voice behind Roman's historic championship run turned his back. The WWE universe has been rife with speculation over the Bloodline's fate. Heyman's abandonment sent shockwaves deep through the family's core. Samoa Joe, once a loyal and fierce ally, began questioning his allegiance. The Usos, Jimmy and Jay, became fractured and scattered, locked in their own battles of loyalty and betrayal. For the first time in years, Roman Reigns appeared isolated and vulnerable, stripped of the veneer of invincibility that had defined his reign. Many fans and insiders whispered that the Tribal Chief's era was finally unraveling. The SmackDown arena, a night of anticipation and power. The energy inside the SmackDown arena was electric, a charged silence crackling through the crowd as Roman Reigns' unmistakable entrance theme thundered through the speakers. The arena plunged into darkness, anticipation hanging thick in the air. Fans held their breath as the Tribal Chief strode down the ramp, moving with deliberate pace and an unyielding purpose. The Universal Championship rested over his shoulder like a gleaming badge of honor, a silent testament to his dominance. Once inside the ring, Roman paused, letting the silence stretch, his eyes scanning the sea of faces. Then, with the commanding presence that has defined his reign, he took the microphone and dropped a bombshell that would forever alter WWE's landscape. The dark return of a legend, Rikishi's ominous entrance. Suddenly the arena lights shifted, flooding the space with a deep, haunting blue hue. The crowd erupted as the unmistakable opening notes of Rikishi's theme echoed, not the playful, upbeat anthem of the Attitude Era, but a slower, darker, ominous remix that sent chills down spines. The Titantron lit up with powerful visuals, scenes of war, legacy, and family bloodlines intertwined like ancient tapestries. Then he appeared. Rikishi, no longer the carefree icon of the past, emerged in a sleek, dark three-piece suit. Gone were the signature sunglasses and flamboyant attire. In their place was a cold, focused expression that radiated authority. He didn't wave or play to the crowd. He moved with purpose, every step measured as he closed the distance to the ring. His eyes locked with Roman's, a silent exchange, heavy with unspoken respect and familial bond. Rikishi's command, the new era's visionary. Taking the microphone, Rikishi's voice cut through the arena like steel. His tone was not just commanding, it was prophetic. The head of the table doesn't need an outsider whispering in his ear, he said with quiet intensity. Not when he's got old school blood guiding him. I raised him. I taught him the game. I know what loyalty means. And starting tonight, I am the Wiseman. The crowd was stunned. Backstage, even Paul Heyman, watching from a darkened corner, spilled his coffee in shock, jaw dropping open. Heyman knew in that moment his chapter in this saga was over. But Rikishi wasn't just a symbolic figure returning for nostalgia. He had a mission, and he immediately began executing it. Rebuilding the bloodline. The return of the real authority. Shortly after the segment aired, exclusive footage leaked showing Rikishi meeting privately with Samoa Joe. Once drifting away, Samoa Joe's loyalty had been in question for months, but now, with Rikishi's steady hand guiding him, Joe's confidence appears restored. The Usos, Jimmy and Jay, had been locked in a bitter war over loyalty and control. But who better to restore the fractured family than the man who raised them, who watched every step of their journey from childhood to multiple championship glories? Rikishi's return isn't about manipulation or threats. It's about legacy, respect, and the unshakable bonds of blood. The impact on WWE's power players, Rollins and Punk, plot new strategies. Backstage, the ripple effects of Rikishi's appointment were already felt. Seth Rollins was spotted in a tense phone call with CM Punk. Their fragile alliance, which had started gaining traction against the splintered Bloodline, now faces a daunting challenge. This is not the Bloodline they prepared for. This version is ancient, smarter, colder, and more ruthless. Rikishi brings not just nostalgia, but a warrior's grit and credibility that no outside strategist could match. He doesn't play mind games or plot in shadows. His mere presence demands order and loyalty, and that pressure is being felt by all contenders. CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, and beyond. The Rock's growing unease. A dynasty at a crossroads. Rumours are swirling that The Rock, the Great One himself, is deeply unsettled by this move. Sources say The Rock feels blindsided, believing his position as the family's top elder and guiding force has been usurped by Rikishi's arrival. The tension between these two titans of the Inoki dynasty could soon erupt into a full-blown civil war. With Rikishi firmly in Roman's corner, pulling the strings from behind the curtain, The Rock's influence in the family may be waning. This looming power struggle could redefine the Bloodline's future and set the stage for epic confrontations that will shake the WWE to its core. Rikishi's warning. The Bloodline's new creed. From the moment Rikishi stepped into the ring, it was clear he wasn't there to play games. His first words weren't for entertainment, they were a warning. To all you doubters out there, the Bloodline just went OG, he declared with iron conviction. We're coming for everything. This wasn't just a storyline shift. This was the resurrection of tradition, the convergence of history, respect, dominance, and family. Rikishi isn't just any relative. He's a cornerstone of the Inoki dynasty, there when this legacy began, standing alongside Yokozuna, training The Rock, raising the Usos, and watching Roman rise. He carries a credibility Paul Heyman never could manufacture. The foundation of true loyalty, blood over business. What makes this move so seismic isn't merely the rush of nostalgia or a dramatic spectacle. It's the raw authenticity that Rikishi brings to the Bloodline. Unlike typical alliances forged through contracts or backstage deals, Rikishi's allegiance isn't up for negotiation. He doesn't fight for titles, fame, or personal gain. He fights for family. This is a loyalty grounded deep in blood and honor, not in manipulation or business strategy. With Rikishi as the new Wiseman, Roman Reigns has a steadfast guardian, rooted in tradition and unshakable allegiance. A presence that elevates the Bloodline's power to a level unseen before. This isn't just a new chapter, it's an entirely different playbook, one driven by unbreakable bonds and a shared legacy, making the Bloodline more dangerous than ever. Vince McMahon's approval. Recognizing real connection. Insiders reveal that this bold move came with the personal blessing of WWE Chairman Vince McMahon himself. Vince understood that no amount of scripted storytelling or external influence could replicate the impact of genuine family ties. By approving Rikishi's return as the Wiseman, Vince not only validated the Bloodline's authenticity, but also signaled a new era where WWE embraces legacy and raw emotional power. This decision breaks the mold, transforming Roman's empire from just another dominant faction into an unstoppable dynasty fueled by real-life history and bloodlines. The bloodline is no longer just a group. It's a living, breathing force united in ruthless determination and strategic precision. The bloodline reborn, a dynasty's new dawn. As fans in the WWE locker room absorb the implications of this seismic power shift, one truth stands out. The bloodline has been reborn. Roman Reigns stands taller and stronger than ever, with allies like Samoa Joe returning to the fold under Rikishi's wise guidance. The Usos, long divided, are now inching toward reunion, rebuilding fractured bonds under the watchful eye of the new Wiseman. Rikishi isn't here to put on a show. He's here to lead, to protect, and to dominate. This isn't just Roman's reign. This is the revival of the original Bloodline dynasty, rooted in history and sharpened for the future. Blood is power, the new threat to WWE. Surrounded by warriors born into greatness, the throne now belongs to those with blood ties, those who carry the legacy in their veins. For anyone outside this inner circle, the warning is clear. You are in danger. The WWE Universe is witnessing the rebirth of a dynasty, one that combines ancient roots with relentless loyalty and raw power. With Rikishi as Wiseman, the landscape has changed forever. The bloodline is no longer just a faction. It's a legacy reclaimed and a force that will dominate WWE for years to come.